We got a ton to get to, Chase. Oh, what a game! What a freaking game! And I had to watch that buzzer beater with the Florida Gators just now. We'll get into all of it here in a second.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be live here shortly. Chase is going to be responding to a ton of chats tonight. Everything look good, Chase?
Everything looks amazing, Carter. We're ready to roll here. I'm just getting out the tweets and man, oh man, what a game!
What a game. What a game for so many reasons. We have so much to get to. We'll do a takeaway show from this one as well later this week. There's just so much to get to. Man, I wish I didn't have to go do this stuff. All right.
All right, YouTube's out. You ready to retweet that, sucker?
Oh, yeah, I need to get the back in. All right. I had to make 2 separate thumbnails, man. Thank goodness I got to use the good one.
Stay prepared. What is up, everyone in the chat?
We're good to go.
Let's get going.
Chase.
We
You
are
ready?
Tweets are out. Yeah, we're. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm speechless right now. I mean, this is live. I mean, the buzzer just sounded in New York.
All right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, this is crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
All right, let's do this. You ready?
Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this.
All right, I might have to peace out any minute, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're live. We are live right now. I'm here in the bowels of Madison Square Garden, somewhere in the tunnel down here. Chase, what on earth did we just watch, man? I don't even know where to start. This is crazy. Rob Wright, game winner at the buzzer. If there was a night, Chase, to say that Rob Wright is the most important player on this team and AJ's the best player on this team, this game was the perfect indication of that. BYU looks dead in the dust. Halftime was off for 22 points at halftime, gave up a 21-0 run to close the half. Doesn't matter. BYU comes back. They get it done again. BYU, man, I mean, they're just like Matt Damon and Good Will Hunting, dude. I shout out Matt Damon making 2 Good Will Hunting references on this show in the month. But it's just like this guy, it doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't need all the professional training, tutors, a Harvard education. He just does the bare minimum. All of a sudden, he just has the talent to overcome the laziness. Like, it's crazy. This BYU team gets away with it. It's like how do these darn kids get away with it again? If you're a Clemson, like, there's so many ways to go here. Rob Wright, buzzer beater, Chase. Floor is yours for a second.
Oh, man, I barely know when to start. I want to just start with this. As always, shout out Jimmy V. He would have loved this ball game, and he would have loved what he saw on the floor today. It felt real March Madness-y, obviously, with the comeback, with the streaks or runs, I should say, with the buzzer beating 3-point shot. We're going to have a lot of negative stuff to say, but right now, all you can say is, wow, this BYU team fighting back once again. Second half BYU is super real. First half BYU was unfortunately very real too. But oh my goodness, I just keep coming back to the word despite. BYU won despite giving up a 21-0 run to end the half. BYU won despite only making 5 threes, shooting 21% from beyond the arc, despite, getting out rebounded, despite 9 turnovers, all these things.
I apologize to interrupt. I have to run. I'll be right back. Keep talking. Hang out with the chat. I'll be back as soon as possible. We got to go get AJ Demansa.
I'll go get AJ for us. Not for us, but for the Field of 68,
Hopefully this doesn't mess up the live stream. All right, peace out.
It should be all right. We should be good to go because I'm in as a host too. So, yeah. I don't know, folks. And now I'm solo again. Man, Carter's always doing this to me. But he's got important stuff to do. He's working hard and helping out there. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's start here. This is going to be the story of the night. I don't know if it was taken a little bit away up because of the Rob Wright buzzer beating 3. AJ Demansa was an absolute superstar to the max, 1A ball player tonight. He's been obviously super good all season. It's something we've been waiting for. This was his best game of the season by far, and this was the best. I'm going to say something here. This was the best anyone's looked in college basketball this season. There's been some awesome performances. That's saying a ton. But what AJ Demansa did tonight, particularly in the second half, mostly in the second half, was the best performance I've seen in college basketball this season to this point. And I don't say that to take away from other teams and other players, because there's a ton of them. And the level of play this year has been unbelievable all across the board. But tonight this is the best dude in the country when he's playing like this, completely unstoppable. I mean, you have obviously the points. You have the way AJ was attacking the rim. He doesn't need the three ball to get all these things right. He wasn't shooting it particularly well. I think he only took like 2. BYU as a whole didn't shoot it well. But the way he was getting to the rim, he was finishing in the paint. Obviously, the fadeaways come and go. He just completely rises over dudes and hits them. But I love the way he attacked. He finished in the rim, both those and ones, right? Through contact, being able to put the ball in the basket. But in that second half, man, or in the last like 5 minutes, it was the passing, man. It was the ability to read the defense. You could tell they were all over him. They knew, right, this is AJ's time. This is his ball. And he found open dudes over and over and over again. I mean, 3 times to K, but obviously the 2 lobs, you have the one where he dumps it down. He's left wide open because the center, no longer concerned with Keba knows that the double on AJ is the move there. I mean, the skip pass to Richie, he didn't make it, but found him there. The look to, the kind of driving kick to Rob. Again, he didn't hit that one. The passing was off the charts. I think it's his highest assist game of the season. I think it ended up being 6, 9 rebounds, 28 points, 9 of 17, 9 of 10 from the free throw line. He was everything, man. He was the best player in college basketball tonight. He was the number 1 pick in my eyes. And if I know basketball, that's the best player in the draft. That's AJ Demansa. He was unreal, carrying the team when, I mean, no one else was helping him out. I mean, Richie Saunders, we love Richie Saunders here. 2 of 11 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3. Look, it wasn't Richie's night. It was cold, Madison Square Garden, and Spalding basketballs do not complement his game, apparently. I think that happened, was it Villanova when he had the Spalding balls and these big arenas don't sit right with Richie Saunders. Also, just look, man, it's off game. I thought they made a good point on the broadcast with Dawson now, and really the lack of any other 3-point help from BYU. Teams are really keying in on Richie. So 0 of 7 from him. Rob was really good, going 6 of 14 from the field, 17 points. Obviously, that 3 at the end. He was 3 of 5 from 3. Moo Davis only had 5 points. That 3 he hit, again, another AJ find, was massive. But other than that, folks, other than just those moments, it was all AJ. And this game was going to be up to him. And he took it and ran with it. It was unbelievable. I mean, I'll think about this performance for a long time, man. That second half, AJ Demansa against Clemson, Jimmy V Classic, will be all over the tape. The scouts there, which I'm pretty sure nearly every team was represented, they just had to be, their eyes popping out of their skulls. I mean, just giddy with laughter like I was watching this dude play, man, watching this dude cook. And what a pleasure it is. What a pleasure it is to watch this dude play basketball for your team, huh? Pretty sweet. Let's get down to these chats here, folks. Shout out y'all for joining. I am solo right now. If this is your first time joining, I'm not usually solo. Co-host is doing other stuff for Field 68. He'll be in and out. He's on his phone. He was in the arena. And those who know Karter, who are regulars, kind of know how this rocks. He'll be back and forth. So come in the chat, guys. Talk with me, and I'll talk back to you. And we'll have a good time chatting about this ball game. Also as UConn, Florida. I mean, throw it up on 2 screens. We got another awesome night. We got more of an awesome night ahead of us going here. This is what I'm talking about here. Kate Altitude says Richie is a Wilson, man. He absolutely is. Although I think BYU uses Nike. I think they're Nike balls, basketballs. So he's Wilson and Nike will say that. Tater Coog, sup man, says, wow, BYU wins. Anything interesting happen? Yeah, the weirdest basketball game of the season, paired with the best performance of the season, paired with an insane buzzer-beating 3 on what just wasn't a good play. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but Jams, what just happened? AJ, Kaba, Rob in Madison Square Garden, unreal. I mean, we didn't even talk about the venue, like doing this in the Garden, Jimmy V Classic. Byu'S is there. I mean, it's ESPN's A team. Special stuff, man. Special stuff. Jack, as always. BY Moo, good to see Moo Davis. Hit a massive 3, man, and played incredible defense. And we'll talk a little bit more about the defense as a team here as a whole when we get Karter in here. Teddy Jackson says, Clemson was like, let's play no defense on the 3. And then Clemson guy watched him shoot, made 0 effort to play a D. Yeah, it was interesting. AJ, if you go back and watch, he drew so much attention. He was kind of posted up. It was a high post, about 15, maybe 17 feet away from the basket, to be honest. They were basically doubling him, and then like he's not getting the ball in this inbound. And that's when Rob was able to step up and be like, okay, ball comes to me. And he shot it. I think they were scared of fouling. That's why they didn't really like contest that 3, because obviously if you foul, that's game. Rob Wright's hitting one of those for sure. So Kenley, what's up, dog? Team of Destiny. Is it Team of Destiny, or is it team shoot yourself in the foot and then fall your way to the finish line? We'll see it. We'll figure it out. But tonight was a little Team of Destiny. That shot was doing it. What's up, everyone? Jensen. What a game. Tater Q. Kempong needs to list first half BYU and second half BYU separately. Where would first half BYU be? I mean, that's a triple digit Kempong team. First half BYU. Second half BYU might be number 1. They're top 5 for sure. No one can believe it. I'm right with you guys. What the heck did I just watch? The Mood Dude says impressive. Shout out the Mood Dude. Fadeaway Clay. AJ was unreal in his bag. He was, man. Gosh, he was unreal. I mean, man, I'm just so glad I got to watch that live. There's moments in time, like in sports, and I know not everyone feels this way across the country, but we're BYU folk, right? Moments in sports, you just got to appreciate what watching it live. And people don't understand. I have an uncle who records everything, and just like he hates the commercials. Man, if I had missed that live, I'd be devastated. Being able to see not just the buzzer beating 3, which was awesome in and of itself, but being able to see that AJ performance live, meaning I watched it on my iPad, of course. Being able to watch it in real time and in the Garden, man, unreal. The conductor at 3449, what's up, man, says, if you had to bet, who do you think goes number 1? It's really tough. And when I say this, I hope people aren't taking it as me dissing other guys in this draft, because it's the deepest draft since like 2003. I really think that it's unreal. There's so many good guys. I mean, if you have a lottery pick, if you have a top 5 pick, man, you're going to be so happy with whoever you get. I really think by the time the season's over, and with the stuff AJ's showing, especially tonight, I think he's number 1. If I had to put money on it, I'd still think it goes to AJ. I know DP's sitting there right now in most mocks. There was some weird Cam Boozer stuff. Some anonymous GM said that he might not be what they thought in the NBA. I don't know. I can't agree with that. I love Cam Boozer. But it seems like it's pretty locked down between AJ or DP right now. And DP's incredible, and he'll be so awesome in the league. I just have to think, you watch this 6'9" teenager stepping, shooting over dudes, working hard on the boards, finding open guys on the court, and willing his team to a win in the biggest stage in basketball, the mecca of basketball, Michael Jordan calls Madison Square Garden. And you decide, he won't go number 1. I think that's a little crazy to me. It's one game for sure, but he's been doing this. I mean, he's averaging 20 points a game, and even when he looks bad, he does good. And so I think this was just a taste of his potential, man. And he was incredible. Sup, Cameron Wilson says, might have been the most fun half of basketball I've seen in a while. And with Jaeger on the sidelines, my guy. Yeah, shout out Jaeger for coming, supporting the boys. Obviously playing really well for Brooklyn right now. Yeah, second half, man, burn the first half. I'll never watch that again. When I go back and watch the tape, all right, I'll be responsible. I'll watch the first half. But I save the second half for like when you're anytime you're bored, because on both sides, I mean, obviously, if you're a Clemson fan, you don't want to watch that. But down the stretch, they made some really big shots to keep it a game. I mean, you're thinking with me sitting on the couch, like, wow, BYU really got it done. This was wild. It's over. And then they, three missed free throws from BYU, 3, and it's like, we're gonna go to overtime, like after all this, and I. And I'm like thinking, like, man, UConn and Florida are gonna be playing late. We had the delay with the hoop. Like, this is crazy. Really high level stuff there at the end. And obviously, you chuck up a 3 to win it, man. It's special stuff. Jack says offense should run through AJ all game, not just the second half, in my opinion. Yeah, I think it's an interesting comment. I mean, look, there's been many times this season where they've just turned to AJ in the second half, and that's probably more out of desperation than it is game plan, but it's worked every time. Obviously, Villanova, down the stretch, it was all AJ. It was him getting downhill, and Rob too, obviously. And then it was in that UConn game, it was all AJ getting back into it. I think that running the offense through one single player at any time is never like going to work, but you got to think to yourself, why is this not happening in the first half as opposed to this happening in the second half? And there's a lot of scenarios. I think Clemson had a really good game plan. I think BYU had a poor game plan coming in, and they had to adjust, and they had to go to AJ, and AJ had to be special for this to happen, right? But it obviously did. Well, I'm going to interrupt real quick. Carter's in the chat here. He's doing work, but he's like standing 5 feet away from AJ right now. They're doing an interview. He says, any questions for AJ? We'll be interviewing him for the Field of 68 here in a second. Carter's going to read these chats. So listen, folks, if you have a question for AJ, Carter's about to be talking to him. So go ahead and throw that in the chat. All right. It's just, I mean, if they're good, Carter will read it. He'll go ahead and read it live to AJ. It'd be awesome. Shrimpy Jacks, what's up, brother? What a roller coaster of a game. It was a roller coaster that really only had like one dip, and that was the entire first hour of my viewing experience, right? Although I guess it was like up and they're tied, and then it was like huge dip, and then all the way back up. I mean, that entire second half, you can't be mad the whole time. They start out fast, they keep going fast, they finally tie it up, they take the lead, then they lose it, then they bring it back to tied, win the game. I mean, unreal. I don't even know what to say to you folks. Shout out for everyone for coming in here. The Mood Dude's back. The eyes on this game nationally will be vaulting BYU stock for the tournament. Yep, couldn't agree. I think everyone, just about everyone who's in college basketball would watch that. I hope they'd all watch all the games, right? If you're a media member, part of that committee or whatever. But playing in New York, ESPN primetime slot, and they do that. They do that, folks. I mean, come on. If you weren't screaming at the TV, you need your testosterone checked. What a game. What a game. Yeah, the type that gets you out of your seat for sure. Tater Coop says AJ 6'9". Back to the AJ thing, and is one of the best players on both sides of the court right now. Just ridiculous. And a teenager, man, and still figuring out. It's the beginning of December still. We're 9 days into. I mean, the season doesn't really start until New Year's, folks. I mean, we're nowhere near conference play yet, and and against good competition, I got to shout out Clemson real quick. I think they had an amazing game plan. I think they're very well coached. They're an insanely deep team. It was very physical. They have an awesome front court. I mean, between the two centers, obviously Welling was putting in a ton of work, and then you have Hunter doing his thing. I mean, they're a really good team. Porter hits 5 threes, carries them in the first half. I mean, you don't get up 21 points and a half against BYU unless you're dang good and you earn it. I think BYU is obviously better. They showed that in a lot of ways, defensively, offensively in that second half. But shout out to Clemson for real. I think they got a squad. I think they're going to be a bubble team. That might be someone we talk about. This, I mean, if you're Clemson, this win could have been everything for you. And I think, to dumb it down, I mean, I think hindsight's 2020, and we'll know a little bit later. But I think if they would have won this game, right, then you could pretty much slot them into the tournament as of right now. I mean, huge quad one win against a top 10 team in Madison Square Garden is like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's something, that's a win you can talk about forever. They let it slip. Sucks for them. I know. It happens in basketball all the time, folks, but shout out BYU. JBH32 says, I'm just not used to plays like the Kaba oops and the AJ posters. A BYU fan voices hoarse after the game. Also, how do we figure out a way to have the defensive intensity the full 20 minutes? First off, I totally agree. The fact that I'm even mad, they're like, BYU should be beating Clemson. BYU should be beating, they should have smoked Dayton. They should have smoked Miami. They were embarrassing in the Villanova game. They should have come back and beat UConn. Like, I have to pinch myself every time. And seeing that type of athleticism and that level of play is unreal. I think, look, there's a lot of ways to answer this. We don't know the real answer, obviously. And Karter and I will come back after we watch the tape. I'm focused on the second half right now and what we saw there. But it's happening all season for BYU. I don't know what it is, man. Is it desperation? Is it a wake-up call? Does KY give amazing halftime speeches? I think that's probably true. I think that's probably all true. I think you need to come out with intensity and urgency in the first half like you do in the second half. If I asked you, I wrote this down. Okay, I have a bunch of notes, obviously. But I said, like, let me ask all of you, what looked different in the second half? Was it just BYU knocking down shots? No, they didn't. They couldn't hit a three to save their life for 90% of this game. Again, they only made 5. They shot 20% from beyond the arc. Was it 3-pointers? No. Was it just dunks? No. Was it easy baskets? No. It was AJ getting downhill. But the difference in the second half, as always, is, right, this is the defense. And defense is 90% your effort on the floor. BYU stopped with the cheeky zone, which sometimes I like, but tonight I hated in every aspect. I hated the zone. They went man. They said, "Look, we're done with the tricks. We can match up with these guys. Go out there and show me something, right?" And they brought it in every single way. I mean, steals. They were batting the ball, blocks. I mean, it was the defense that won them this game. Yes, AJ had 28 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Yes, Rob Wright hit a 3-pointer to win the game at the buzzer. All those things are true, but BYU doesn't win this game without the defense. And that's the end of the story. And that comes from, like we say all the time, right? That just comes from intensity. It comes from urgency. It comes from, I'm going to give it my all, the effort here. I mean, 21 points for Clemson in the second half. They were, on an absolute drought there for like 15 minutes. They hit a few threes, obviously brought it in. BYU needed a 3-pointer to beat them at the buzzer at the end, but that's where it starts, and that's where you get your energy, and that's what turns into offense and this and that. And we'll keep talking about it. But that's just what needs to be done. I don't know what that takes in the locker room. I don't know. I mean, they flew cross country again, all this stuff, but I mean, eventually it'll get there. Eventually the second half stuff will become the first half stuff. I mean, you think they get up for a game. I mean, I think they were ready. I think they were focused. Maybe they take too long to settle in. Maybe they just get complacent. Maybe they just, their engine takes a minute to warm up. They don't switch into gear until later on. I don't know. We'll keep monitoring it, and when we go back watch the film, we'll see. But I just think it's all about defense. It's all about that intensity, and they were incredible in that second half. Looks like Carter's hopping back in here very soon, so I'll knock out as many of these as we can till we can. Alex Beach says it would be so over for everyone else if BYU knew how to play in the first half. Yeah, second half BYU is that particular second half is a title contender. And then that particular second half, if they can make a single 3, if Richie Saunders doesn't have the worst game of his collegiate career, is something special. It's dang good. Alex says, have we said the Rob Wright line yet? Well, guess what? Thomas Rockwood's got you. AJ's, say it with me, folks. AJ's the best player, and Rob Wright is the most important. And I think that still rings true. Although AJ was like, he's like, maybe I'm the most important tonight, man. I mean, he was butting him for that spot a little bit. I think they were jostling for position. Then Rob Wright's like, let me hit this game-winning 3 at the buzzer to go ahead and put it up. Interesting theory here. I can explain. Says the game delay helped our starters rest halfway through the second half. Worked out great. I did not think about that at all, but I think it's a really good point. I think it gave those guys a breather. And look, the second half, it was a 5-person team, and we may just need to accept that this is a 5-player team, and those 5 guys are awesome, and they can win you ball games. That's not going to fly always. Flew tonight and getting a break. Shout out K. for maybe he should just do that every half, like halfway through, and give their guys a rest. I was really nervous that it was going to kill BYU's momentum because that's when they had cut at single digits, right? And they had found a way to like find a groove, and I thought that it might break that all up. But that's the thing, like staying focused throughout that delay and then coming out and having the same exact intensity that you had to get you to that point is what makes this BYU team so good in the second half. Why they can't do that in the first half, I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. I'm hoping they can figure it out. I think they will. We'll see. Let's see. Keep going here. All I can explain, keep saying, first half we kept feeding cold Richie and others, but could not get a 3. Yeah, I'm always listen. Every time Richie Saunders shoots, I'm a happy man. Obviously, 07's not what we want, but it's. I'd call it an anomaly. Shout out Jason Tatum. And I mean, it was probably the worst game. This is easily the worst game he'll have all season. And still you want him on the floor because he brings you so much in spacing. He still drew attention from the entire team. He still played great defense. That block on that 3, right? Not a great Richie game, but we have a lot of questions for AJ. Hopefully Karter was able to get to them. We'll see. He's hopping back in here. Right now, there we are. Karter,
can you see me? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. You are back in, brother. How was the AJ interview?
Let's go. AJ interview was good. That'll be on the Field of 60 after dark later. Not a super long interview, just 4 or 5 minute interview, but good stuff. Talked to JY, talked to some other coaches and stuff just now. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So,
any good nuggets? If you're gonna name drop, you gotta back it up.
You know what the number one nugget I got was JY came up to me and he was like, "Man, dude, we're getting half-hearted. We're lives." So,
he's not happy with you.
I know. I got to step it up. So, how about we have to redo it? 3, 2, 1. We're alive. Yeah, there you
go. Hey, peaked a little bit there on the mic, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Sorry for everybody's ears listening. But Chase, I'm sure you've touched on a million things in a million chats. So, I don't want to repeat you too much. But what are we talking about right now?
Right now, I was just going through chats. We're talking about. I think the biggest question here is what's going on with first half BYU? Why can we not see second half performance in the first 20 minutes, Karter?
So I think that's it. Like every question in the press conference was that, because it was a weird thing, like seeing after the game, like guys were celebrating, guys were happy, but they're also, and this is what you want to see out of a championship team, because look, man, that first half is just not going to cut it. You're not going to be able to save yourself like that going into second halves of these games. Like if you're giving up 21-0 runs in the first half of these games, good night, sayonara, it's over. Like you can't be doing that. They got away with it tonight, but it was interesting seeing like the body language in the locker room and everything. Like, yeah, people were celebrating. Yeah, they were hyped. Rob hit that buzzer beater and they came back and won this game. But there was a little bit of a, man, we shouldn't even have let that been a game, especially when you watch that second half. For the first 15 minutes of that second half, Clemson shot 2 of 20, Chase. 2 of 20, 10% from the field. Had like 7-8 turnovers at that point. First 15 minutes, you're giving up 5 points in the first 15 minutes of the second half. You know what BYU's capable of. And look, man, if we're going to be honest, we're going to call it like it is. It just comes down to defensive effort for this team. It's really it. It's just
exactly what I said.
They came out sluggish in the first half. And also credit to Brad Burnell, man. This guy is just such a good coach. We hammered that on the preview, that they want to muck it up. They want to force BYU into ISO situations and then and crash the glass. And Clemson did all that and more in that first half. And Brad Burnell coached an unbelievable first half. And then BYU just wakes up in the second half. It's crazy what happens. It's just this weird body language. It's like, all right, we'll turn it on. Like it's like when the Warriors screw around for 82 games in a season. They go into the playoffs being an 8 seed. They're like, we can win the finals. Like we're not worried.
Yeah, I mean it's like the Kansas City Chiefs. except not this season. Am I right? Uh,
Whoa.
no, I think the defense was everything, Carter. And like you said, it's that intensity and that effort that sparks runs. It starts on that end. Like BYU's ability to get steals, and their ability to deny the post. I mean, they wanted to get Welling the ball all second half. It didn't matter who was on him. You know, whether it was Moo Davis, Richie Saunders got the switch, or obviously Kay Bakeda, they would fight to get over and they would get in front of them. They would deny that. And that's that's pure effort, man. That's like, I'm not letting you catch this deep on me. And BYU did an amazing job of that. They forced so many turnovers. They kept Clemson completely out of whack offensively. They were switching great in the second half. I mean, it looked like an entirely different team. It's one of the best defensive performances I've seen from a college team this season in that second half.
And every single player in that second half, the way they were rushing on help defense, it wasn't this half-hearted, lackluster, like, okay, I'm going to go in and swipe help defense. Yes. No, it was, I'm sprinting over and I'm getting my feet set. I'm moving my feet and getting in position. It literally comes down to defensive effort. What kind of defensive effort are we going to see from this BYU team? Because we saw it with UConn. We talked about that a ton, where it's like, look, man, this BYU team, when they're at their best, is when their defensive intensity is at its highest level, because then offense just becomes easy at that point. You get all your momentum and your confidence from the defensive end, and then all of a sudden the game's so much easier. And it also helps when you have AJ Demansa, who just, we can talk about this real quick. AJ, I think, solidified as of now his spot as the number one pick in the draft. And that's not a biased take or anything. I know people are going to say, oh, you do the BYU podcast, you went to BYU, that's a biased take. And watch the game, man. He's a 6'9", 6'10" dude doing that on the floor. And you know what my favorite play of the night was? Outside of the buzzer beater, favorite play of the night?
AJ rebound?
No, it was AJ. It was two of them. It was like after the under 4 timeout. AJ's dump offs to Kay Bakeda, the alley-oop, and then that dump off when he was at the free throw line. Those were the two best plays because he was patient, he was calm, he kept his head up. Like, AJ, man, going into the NBA, like, if he can keep his head up and be patient and find other guys, I mean, that's what separates a guy from being like Brandon Ingram in the NBA, where you're putting up great stats. You might be an all-star, you're a really talented player, but it's kind of tough to play team basketball. Or you're a LeBron-like player where you're able to get everybody involved and make others better.
Yeah, you know, we're making the same points. I love this because I spent the first 5 minutes monologuing about AJ. And the most impressive part, like 28 points, awesome. And it kept BYU in it. Dude, he was flying on the rebounds. He was like, I'm getting every ball I can. And then obviously all the looks. I mean, even the ones that didn't hit. The skip pass to Richie at the end of the shot clock. Richie misses that. The kick out to... I mean, Moo Davis, he does hit that. The kick out to Rob, who misses one. Like, there were so many like assists left on the board. I think it was a triple-double kind of night for AJ. Obviously, BYU was ice cold from 3, but it was the best. I said this take. I might regret it, but like, heck, freaking man, we're in the moment. This was the best performance I've seen in college this season from any player ever. There's been some really good ones. It's not knocking anyone, but in my mind, that second half for AJ was the best a players looked in this season. It was unreal.
If BYU would have hit that shot against UConn, not turned the ball over at the end, would you have been saying that about the UConn game instead?
I mean, because it was against UConn, but he was even better tonight, man. The passing was so good tonight. I mean, and he was hitting every shot and getting fouled. And I mean, the dunk in the lane. I mean, man. Oh,
Cam Boozer against Arkansas might have something to say.
Yeah, that was unreal.
But
they're all good. I mean, they're all good. I don't want to take.
I mean, it's crazy, man, that they came out and were able to come back in that game. But I was gonna say this. I had this written in my notes and everything. Like, if BYU would have lost this game, the moral, even though they came back and made it close, I was going to say, yeah, the moral victory crap's out the window. Like, there's no more moral victories with that kind of stuff anymore. That's a one-time deal against a really great UConn team. This doesn't happen against a team that's going to be on the bubble come tournament time. Like, you need to win those games. There's no moral victories because you were able to come back.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I mean, I'm still a little disappointed. If it wasn't for a Rob Wright buzzer beater, I think our tone would be a little bit different.
Yeah, it was interesting because Kevin Young said afterwards that the play was, I guess Clemson stopped the main action going up the court. And so if that main action wasn't there, call the timeout. And they were like, yeah, Clemson called it out immediately. That's when the timeout came and everything. And then Rob hitting that awesome shot at the end, man.
I mean, it was like, in the air, you're like, that's the look we got. That's the look.
Seriously.
But then it was like, great shot.
Inside church ball here. We got to go all over the place here because we're doing interviews, press conferences, trying to do a bunch of things at once and everything. So I had to sprint down from the media seats. I'm in the tunnel right now, but I was in the tunnel watching the game with the Florida Gators, and the Florida Gators were right there. So we're all watching, and Rob gets that ball. And as he's going up, just three dudes go, "What?" And then they were actually kind of hype after he hit that shot. Not gonna lie.
Were they? Yeah. The broadcast was showing UConn fans like actively cheering for BYU. Obviously, I think it makes them look better, right? Because they beat BYU. But I just thought it was so ironic that this is exactly what happened to Clemson. BYU just didn't finish it out like they did. Or excuse me, this is exactly what happened to UConn. I'm just speaking here. But BYU just didn't finish out against them. But UConn fans even looked hyped for the Cougs, man. I mean, talk about being in person that second half, Karter. What was the crowd like, the environment, everything?
It was interesting because there were some UConn fans definitely getting in on the BYU chants. That's for sure. Clemson fans, they started getting into it in that second half. There was a few little pockets of Clemson fans doing their CLEMSON chant. If you've ever been to a Clemson football game, you know. And then BYU fans kind of once they got that, it was kind of a critical point in that start of the second half was Rob Wright hitting that three at the top of the key. And that kind of spurred things on. And Keita setting the tone on the defensive end. I mean, dudes, the Clemson guys, you could see it on their face. They were actively scared coming into the paint, going against Keita. And then also, we talked about in the UConn game, when AJ has that look, it's over. It's over.
When he has that look and he's got a spring in his step and he's at the 3-point line and he's dribbling it a little high and he's looking like, oh man, I'd be peeing my pants if I was playing defense on that cat. And I'm so jealous you got to see him in person because he was beyond special tonight. The stuff that he was doing on both ends of the floor, the rise ups, fadeaways, the finishing at the rim. I mean, in person, Karter, what did it look like watching AJ do those things? Because on his camera, it was like insane. It's
just like watching an NBA superstar. It's the long strides. It doesn't matter. He's getting his shot off over you. And even if you're contesting him, especially in that mid-range turnaround, it's going in. And you just, once again, you see it's that look in his eye. And it's just over. Kind of switching points here. Despite Richie not having a great game, also I have to talk a little quieter because Richie's right behind me. Despite him not having a great game tonight, AJ and Rob being able to, carry the team offensively towards the end of that game. I mean, a huge credit to them because, guys are struggling from beyond the arc tonight. And also, two things. Spalding basketballs, we're done. We're good. We're good, Spalding. And then also, and Madison Square Garden didn't have the NBA threes out. And I was like, oh, this is a positive. Turns out, not.
Yeah, the one Moo Davis 3 was an NBA 3. I mean, he was like, I'll draw the line myself. No, I mentioned the Spalding balls earlier, Karter. I was like, look, Richie's just not a Spalding guy. And someone's like, Richie's a Wilson guy. I was like, I think they play with Nike, but that's all right. I think he probably prefers Wilson. I think I prefer
he balled out in the
Spalding.
NCAA tournaments, Wilson, and balled out in the NCAA tournament. So
yeah.
Let's get to some chats.
Let's get to some chats. To people. This is a big one, and I want to talk about it. I've been saving it. Tater Coog, shout out our guy, says BYU's lack of depth is what hurts their defensive intensity. Intensity brings fouls. Can't play with that way for 40 minutes while playing 7 guys.
That's a great comment. That's a ball-knowing take, and I agree with that because you just can't play with that kind of intensity for 40 minutes. I think that, and also the other issue with this team right now is, and you saw it tonight, and I had it written in my notes earlier, is I think tonight, like we've seen it before. I think officially tonight, though, solidified. This is a tight unless like a KJ Perry ends up coming in or something. This is a tight 7-man rotation going forward with this BYU team. And honestly, it should be.
I mean, I said it.
Go ahead.
I mean, we're just repeating each other here. I said it too. I think this is a 5-man team. I think you give guys breathers, and then I think it's 5 right now. I think there's opportunities for dudes to step up. Not a great boop game, lots of fouls. I do love the intensity he brings. It's not a unplayable on the court, but it wasn't adding a whole lot, especially offensively. But right now it's 5 guys, and I think Richie, Ant Rob, and Moo all went 36 minutes. AJ 34 minutes, and Kaba 28, getting that blow from Boop. And that was it, man. It was like it's our starting 5, and it's the best 5 on the floor, obviously. And right now, that's who they have.
I mean, I can't disagree. Like, and there's also going to be games where, look, one of the bench guys feeling it early on, because eventually you got to play these guys. Like, you got to give guys breathers and you got to give them a chance. But you saw it in the second half. I mean, I don't have the exact numbers on me, but I think that starting 5 left the floor maybe for a total of 2-3 minutes total in that second half, and rightfully so. Like, you just got other guys weren't ready for the moment tonight.
Yeah, I mean, 3 of them only sat 4 minutes the whole game. So, big time. Shout out to them though, to have the shout out the strength and conditioning guys. Like, they brought the defensive intensity. None of those dudes took a possession off. I mean, to play all those minutes and to have that, to back to Tater Kook's point, like, it's better to have defensive intensity when you get some fresh bodies in there. But they didn't even have that, and they still were bringing, everything.
Yeah, so and I am something to point out too is like they just need to find someone, even if it's not them initiating the offense and running the offense, having other dudes bring up the ball for Rob Wright, because the amount of just wear and tear that does on you throughout a game, just the fact that you're eventually going to be gassed as you're bringing up the ball every single time. You need someone to take that pressure off you, because even if jogging up the court without the ball, like, that does make a difference throughout the game. Even if you're bringing it all, even if you're not going against pressure, like, that does matter.
Does matter. Yeah, 100% agree with you, Carter. We'll talk more about that when we keep going on. We do our recap, because the bench is going to be. The good news is, folks, look at the rest of the schedule. I think the bench is going to get some run here to move on. Chris Bond with an awful take here. I get what he's saying, because the Hoops won in MSG. He's trying to say Madison Square is better than TD Garden.
Get out of here. Get out of here, Chase. Quit
couldn't
that.
Disagree more.
You know what? I'll even go one further. No, I'm kidding. I was going to say the Spectrum Center is better, the Charlotte Hornets Arena. I actually hate the Spectrum Center. The worst ushers in all of sports.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Ellsworth's 1 says, I was live at the game. Sick, dude. If you see Carter, say what's up. Buy him a slice.
Let's go.
Or Carter will buy you a slice, rather. Says cold night for Richie, but you give it to him because if/when he gets hot, it catches fire.
You know what I like, Chase, is when it would be we had the delay, we had the timeouts and all this stuff. Almost, it felt like every time the after timeout play was drawn up for Richie, almost every single time was Kevin Young saying, "We got to get you going. We got to get you going." And it never got going for him tonight. Doesn't matter. They get out of this one. It happens. You have bad nights, and I'm not worried about Richie Saunders in the long term whatsoever.
Me either. And I was saying too, I like the stuff he does other than making threes. If all Richie was supposed to do is make threes, then I'd be upset right now. But he was being awesome defensively. He had that 1 block, and he was still rebounding and hustling and switching everything and denying post entries. Like, he does so much more he's more than just a 3-point shooter. It didn't show up on the stat sheet points wise tonight. And also, I'm always happy Richie takes a 3. I still think it's going in. I know he was up for 7. I don't care. We got all your relatives in here. Eli, we did talk about the slow first halves. We've probably belabored that point, so you can catch the recording. Kenley says, do you think KY meant to take it down to 1 second left? You answered that with the press conference. He talked about Clemson countering that action.
I don't think ideally it was 1 second, though. I think it would have been about 2.5.
I like the idea, though. Like, if you hurry that up, you can get 3 seconds and have the inbound come from your half of the floor. But they clearly didn't know what was going on, and it was like, oh crap, timeout. But actually it worked. So he's a genius. What are we talking about? Let's see here. Mortgage Yak says AJ plus Rob is vintage Andrew Bond, Tom Fenton. Uncanny.
Let's move on. We got to get out. Yeah, let's get out of here with these.
Thomas Rockwood says, "Are my eyes deceiving me? Moo Davis does not look comfortable putting the ball on the floor."
I'm not going to disagree with it. I think
tonight.
he's tonight. No, and I think he lost confidence tonight as the night went on because you could see him hesitating every single time, progressively. Each time he was like, "I'm going to put the ball on the floor," and he's like, "Oh crap, no, we got to chill. We got to chill, dog, chill here." I don't think it's a strong suit of his game. It's catch and shoot and then straight line drives. But I also kind of credit that to Clemson's defense too. They played such good defense tonight where when you watch the game, you go, "Oh, that's kind of questionable." And sure, refs might have missed calls tonight. To be honest, it felt like a pretty clean officiated game on my end.
There is nothing to complain about in my mind. I mean, I didn't see any. Literally one of the better officiated games I've seen.
And that's a credit to Clemson because they held BYU to 22 points and scoreless for the last 7 minutes of the first half. And they were playing such clean defense on BYU. And like you could see Moo when he would put the ball on the floor. I mean, he's like, "How do I get around this guy, man?"
So, look who this is insane. Jack just joined and says, "I sense some Moo slander." So here I am.
Shout out Moo. Not Moo. Jack bought me a drink at halftime. Shout out.
A drink? Just some fast
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, baby. I know. Shout out Jack. He's got some awesome Twitter content. I've really enjoyed Jack in NYC this week.
I wish I had the cup on me. It was pretty sick, but
you lost it.
Else.
You didn't keep a souvenir cup.
Chase, it's been a disaster. I've got equipment on one side of the building. I've got stuff upstairs. I got stuff by the BYU locker room. It's a nightmare right now. But
here's the good news, Carter. Your night's not even close to over. So
it's not even close to over, fellas. If you're hanging out at Madison Square Garden until 2 a.m., you'll see me here.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's doing that. Tater Coog says Diamande, Mruss, and Kostic will be the guys who take this team from a second weekend team to a Final Four team. I am choosing to trust the process.
Well, that process better start in these 3-4 bye games coming up because this is the time to see it. This is the time to build confidence going forward because I agree with them. One of those guys has to step up genuinely or else that tight rotation is going to bite them in the butt come second weekend when you play a team like Alabama like we saw last year. You got to be able to have one of these bench guys step up in a real way. We'll find out who that guy is. I'm trusting the process too, but I got to see it now, the next 4 games.
I do too.
Because it's going to be so hard for a guy like that to develop his confidence come Big 12 time. Like, look, if you're not showing out against these bye games, how can a coaching staff trust you to go out and play against Houston or at Allen Fieldhouse against Kansas or, Texas Tech? Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we talked about in that UConn, some other guys got in and they showed some things. So I think it's in there. I mean, they weren't game changers necessarily, but look, I think this is a super talented roster. Right now, those guys aren't contributing, and I think they have time to figure it out. And they have until January. They have until the first week of January. So take your time, get some tick here in these games, like we've been saying. And let's figure
rest
out
this starting 5. Let them have some Christmas time off,
please.
You want come over here and say that? You guys hear that?
Who's that?
That was Tyson Jex.
Tyson Jex. Get him on the mic.
I tried. He's got like 6 suitcases on him.
What is he saying?
Except saying Karter Bond's the greatest.
No, we did not. Get the freak out of here.
Record the tape.
I won't believe it until I see him come over here and say it. There's no way.
Should have had him get us like AJ or Rob on here.
Yeah, wait. Do your job, Tyson. I'm just
do my job, Carter. That's my fault.
Yeah, Carter. Fadeaway Clay agrees with us. Says, "Yeah, I hope the bench gains confidence fast." And couldn't agree more. Eli says, "So excited for Big 12 play."
Chase, I couldn't agree more because, hey, look, the bye games are fun. It's fun beating teams by 30, 40 points. But eventually, You want to start playing the big dogs again and getting into conference play when things really matter.
Yeah, we got to shout out the non-con though. It's been a great non-con. They're going to get out with only one loss, like
Which
some
we
of us
predicted.
But it's been so fun. I mean, obviously, there's been frustrating points. I was ready to kill this team. I mean, I was ready. I was writing down like it's crazy stuff in that first half, ready to absolutely blast them. There's been ups and downs, but at the end of the day, W's in the columns, and it's non-con, so wacky things happen. You still figure it out, and here you are with one loss, going to head into conference play, and then you get to test yourself against the best conference in the land, and it's going to be fun. There's probably going to still be some growing pains. We'll see if they can come out the first half normal, but I'm with you, man. What a great non-con, though. Got to shout it out. Lots of fun. Great venues, great games, great teams, and it's been a blast.
Shout out the non-con. Let's get to some more chats.
All right. Fadeaway Clay says, I'm excited for Big 12 play, but also worried about playing Arizona and Iowa State. Yeah, I mean, me too. Those dudes are nasty.
Yeah. Not worried, more excited.
Excited is a good word. Yeah, you get to play the best. They'll be playing the best, right? Not to mention Houston, Texas Tech, some other guys. Tech's got some problems, but whatever. Go Kooks 13 says those AJ fadeaways are freaking nasty. Couldn't agree more, brother. They are nasty, dude. What's he shooting? I mean, he's like 50% on those, maybe over.
We'll get synergy on it.
We will. All right, we'll keep going here, but that's exciting. Shrimpy Jacks, our guy is here, says, fun little story for you. I served my mission with Carter Welling. I played one-on-one with him one time. He actually smoked me like 21-2. Dude's a dog. Crazy to see him out there with Clemson. He was a dog tonight too. He gave him all they could handle.
And he was a dog at Utah Valley, man. He was awesome last year to their run to the WAC title game. It's a shame they didn't go play in the NCAA tournament last year. Also, Shrimpy Jacks, how tall are you? Because how on earth were you going to guard him anyways? He's a solid 6'10".
My question is, Shrimpy Jacks, how did you get 2 points?
Yeah. I want to hear that part.
He must have been out of shape.
Let's keep it rolling.
I'm just kidding. Fadeaway Clay says, that being said, screw Arizona Cougs by $1 billion. And then we got an Arizona fan hanging out with us. Says Arizona Wildcats, real number 1 team in America. I mean, they are in the AP poll. Gatos Locos forever. Holmes, bear down.
It's the top 3 teams in the AP poll should be in some order: Arizona, Michigan, Duke, right?
Iowa State deserves it because they did that to Purdue on their own court. So, but those are the top 4. Yeah, for sure. You didn't hear that. People. Was that Spike Lee? Who are you talking to?
We got people coming up to us nonstop. This is a problem.
All right, some sort of celebrity. I mean, can we get security for this guy? He's trying to record a podcast.
No, I did get told I got to move here in a second because I guess the owner's car is right here. So
the owner's car. Wait, the owner of what?
I think it might be Dolan's car. But let's keep it moving.
Chippy Jack says, "Hey man, I'm quick."
That's it.
Speed, heart over height. You know what I'm saying? We're just giving you a hard time, Shrimpy. Eli says, "Who do you feel more bad for right now, Dawson Baker or Mark Pope?"
Dawson Baker, all day, 10 times out of 10.
Insane comment. That might be that might go Hall of Fame.
I'm not going to feel bad for a guy that had $22 million in NIL to work with and couldn't pick a team where their system revolves around shooting and recruited a bunch of guys who couldn't shoot. That's a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. We don't got to talk much about Mark Pope, but
I'll have thoughts later on another show.
Bad year for him. And, but not our coach. Fadeaway Clay says AJ's offensive rebounding could be a game changer for us. Thought he was super impressive in that aspect tonight. Couldn't agree more, Clay.
Great point. His ability to where he grabs those rebounds too. I mean, it feels like it's at the top of the backboard sometimes on those. So great comment.
Great comment. And that was the most impressive. Like if I'm a scout and I'm looking at AJ, right, and everyone talks about fadeaways, long step, like the passing ability, even like that stuff's awesome. He's incredible. He's making stuff. He's scoring 20 a night, and he's going to throughout the season. The real stuff that I love to look at is that effort on the boards. It's the effort defensively. It's the willingness to pass. It's the willingness to work hard, do the dirty work, get on the floor. I've been saying this all season. I'm just so impressed with how hard he works outside of just shooting. And tonight was no different. Even down 21 at half, like anyone could have packed it in. Anyone could have been like, well, this sucks. Or even just be like, well, I'll give it my best try and just shoot a bunch of threes or whatever and be like, well, it didn't work this time. Let's, take the flight back. We're a long way from home, whatever. But they came out and they're like, we're better than these guys. We think we can beat them. And we're going to start. It starts with us defensively and rebounding. And boy, they stepped up. And AJ's was the forefront of that. Like, to see him lead, I'm sorry I'm ranting here, but he led the charge with the intensity. It was him grabbing those rebounds and him playing tough defense that I think sparked a lot of the other guys. I think they all brought it.
Yes.
But like, to see him, freshman, teenager, going out there and leading the way by example and being the guy that not only scores all the points, but makes all the passes and grabs all the rebounds and works super hard, and none of them come easy. Like, that is so invigorating as a team. Because, like, look, they know how much money, and maybe they don't know exactly. He's making a lot of money. He's got the Nike deal. Everyone wants to talk to him after the game. He's got the Red Bull thing, all this stuff. But to see that guy go out there and do all the dirty work is, again, I think another big reason why BYU came back in this game. They rally around that guy. I mean, it's special.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening around college basketball with all these freshmen, like Caleb Wilson at Carolina right now, Koa P at Arizona. Like, these dudes are the leaders of these teams, and they're 18 years old, getting paid a bunch of money in NIL. And it doesn't matter how much money they're making. They're still going out there every night, like you said. And especially those three guys, AJ, Caleb, and you obviously include Cam Boozer in this as well. They're all doing the dirty work, too. It's really impressive.
So impressive. I mean, the class is insane. When we talk about AJ, we're talking about all of them because they're all awesome. Kenley says, bottom teams in the NBA with picks right now are Wizards, Kings, Pacers. Which team do you want to see AJ go to?
Easy answer here. It is the Indiana Pacers.
I mean, how awesome would that be?
The Charlotte Hornets.
No.
But for AJ,
no.
I'm saying this.
No.
But for AJ's career, send him to Indiana.
Yeah,
it'd be very fitting. Win a national title in Indianapolis, and then you get drafted and stay in Indy.
No need to fly home, brother. I mean, just get fitted for the jersey. Let's get that number printed.
Him with Rick Carlisle and Tyrese Halliburton. Woo.
This is the problem for a lot of these guys. Like, it's you got to think about future here with like AJ and who you'd want him to go to. Like, I don't want to see this guy go to the Wizards. That place isn't going anywhere. I don't want to see him go to the Kings. I don't see them going anywhere. Plus, Jimmer PTSD a little bit. The Pacers obviously is like, okay, they were just in the finals. They're having a really off year. Their best players out for the whole season. So obviously that's a great pick. Would he fit with that team? I mean, I think they find a way to make it so. They probably need to trade a couple players or whatnot. But just that culture and that ability to win right away would be awesome. Brooklyn, he'd sure get a lot of shots. I'm trying to think who else is like the dregs right now. I don't send him to Charlotte at all. Get him away from that organization.
Stop that. Con Knippel, he's taking the franchise guy right there. Also, shout out Jaguar for being at the game tonight. I talked to him a few times. Sick jacket he had on.
Sick jacket. Where can we get some of those? Angela says, you probably already talked about this, but why do they go late? Why do they get behind and catch up? Are they saving their energy? I don't think that's it. I think they just don't come out as intense and focused as they should.
Yep.
I really think that's it. We'll watch and figure it out. Shrimpy Jacks. I did forget. He says we all know he's a jazz man. Chill out, y'all.
Danny Ainge and Ryan Smith's devilish plans are in the works.
He could very easily be on the Utah Jazz. I didn't even think about that. I mean, man, oh man, that'd be special.
Let's close up here in a second. I want to answer this last chat because this is absurd. Shout out Eli.
This is another Hall of Famer.
We'll get to some closing things because they're about to kick me out. So
okay.
Last chat. Would you rather be put in a boxing ring with 50 fifth graders or one Con Knippel Chase? I'm going to go with my take. I would rather go with one con Knipple. Do I think I win? No. But I don't know if I have the stamina of 50 fifth graders.
Man,
How old are fifth graders? Like 10, 11?
No. Wait.
12? How old are fifth graders?
Oh, I think they said first graders. I read it wrong. Fifth graders are like 9, 10?
No, I think they're like 11.
No.
Yeah.
We're so stupid. I'm Googling this right now.
We're this is a problem. I'm going one con Knipple.
I'm going 10 years old is what Google's telling me right now. Give me 50 fifth graders. That's easy. Con's the dog. Con's tough.
But I don't know, man. I feel like I was getting dunked on in 5th grade in North Carolina.
Yeah, you were in North Carolina.
Let's move on. Thomas Rockwood said King's pick would be so cursed, giving me flashbacks. Yeah, Jim or PTSD 100%.
Get out of Sacramento.
Chase, closing thoughts before we go.
What a game. Lots to work on. First half BYU is a problem, but second half BYU is incredible. This team can win the title. They did fall into the top 12 of the most important AP poll of the year. Every champion from the last, I can't remember how many years it is, but it's been in the top 12. This week in the season, BYU made the cut, 10th in the country. Very important. They're a national title contender. I would love to see them continue to keep up this defensive intensity. They didn't even shoot well tonight, and they won the game. I mean, if they can just play defense like that, I think they the sky's the limit. They can win a national title. So very exciting stuff ahead. AJ is incredible. We are blessed. What a team.
Eli said the 5th graders are Utah natives in this scenario. That's a podcast for another day. That might be an hour-long podcast. So quickly, last closing thoughts. You mentioned it, the defensive intensity. We got to see it from the jump. And then just seeing guys play together and ball movement. It's the same old with this team. Just love the fact that, Rob getting that just devastating turnover against UConn and then bouncing back and hitting the game winner tonight. I mean, you get the lead back, then you almost choke it away at the end, 64-64, 1 second left, and you hit that insane shot to win it all. Come on, man. What a game for Rob. What a game for AJ. Kaba Cato, was playing like Shaq tonight, trying to take down basketball goals. Just a big win. This is going to be quad 1 when it's all said and done, and a huge win for BYU. Not just for the resume, but mainly for the confidence of pulling that one out.
Absolutely. Watch that second half film, Cougs. Recreate that. We're golden.
Chase, we'll be back watching the film. We'll do a whole takeaway. We'll preview the upcoming bye games and everything later this week. Make sure to tune in. Field of 68 Podcast Network, at Karter BA, at Chase_Rogers here, at Churchball Pod on everything. We got a ton of fun stuff coming your way. BYU fans, if you're not done with this game, head on over. Field of 68 after dark. We got Rob with AJ Demansa later. They're all going to break down this BYU Clemson game from nuts to bolts, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a great show. Anything else, Chase, before we go?
Shout out you guys who are in the chat, carrying me when I go solo and Karter abandons me.
Hey, Chase, you're gonna be at the next game I'm at, right? You know what? Because I'm only going to 2 more games this year, 2 more regular season games. I better see you there. We better be doing these in person.
That's the plan, folks.
And then after that, the only upcoming games I'm booked for going to is the Final Four in Indianapolis. So I better see you there too.
I mean, we'll be there. We'll be there. Shout out you guys. Thanks for that. What a great live. What a great night. We love you.
Wow, what a great live it was. It was a great live.
We should probably end it now.
Yeah, James Dolan's car is going to run me over. So, all right, let's get out of here.